Friends, sometimes I think there's a little bit of a battle between knitting and crochet, and there totally doesn't need to be. So today we're busting the myth that knitting is classier than crochet. This is a pattern roundup, and I'm going to show you 10 super classy and gorgeous crochet patterns in 5 different categories. Hello, and welcome to Bla Bla Black Sheep, a weekly yarny podcast where I, Sarah Korth of SEK Handmade, answer your yarny questions. Welcome. I am so glad that you are here. I would love it if you would like and subscribe. Go back and watch past episodes you haven't seen. This is episode 93. I love doing this podcast, and I'm so happy that you're here. Today, I am wearing my Quinlan twist cowl. I love this design. It has been so chilly here. It's warming up this week, but it has been so chilly that I have been living in this cowl. It's double thick. I have been wearing it almost every day. The gray grid lines in this are Malabrigo Rios. They are Cape Cod gray. Link in the description below to all these yarns and the patterns so you don't have to go hunt them down. This gorgeous color changing yarn is by Junction Fiber Mill. If you are not following them on social media, you should. They show lots of videos of how they make these yarns, and it is fascinating. Absolutely stunning though. Highly recommend their yarn. Really enjoyed working with it. I also want to share with you another one of my favorite small businesses, and that is Mandrill Works. This is by Adrienne. She is a local to me artist, and she just makes the most gorgeous, lost my earring back, most gorgeous and high quality metal earrings and jewelry. Definitely check her out. All right, let's dive into today's topic. I think that there is definitely sometimes among some people some animosity between knitters and crocheters. Crocheters sometimes think knitters are snobby. Knitters sometimes think crocheters are less than. First of all, I want to say I knit and I crochet. I don't believe that one is better than the other. Each craft has so many gorgeous patterns that no person could ever knit and or crochet all of them. But today I'm busting wide open the myth that knitting is classier than crochet with some really gorgeous crochet patterns that you're definitely going to want to try. Now, first I have to say I have kept this all to wintry kinds of things because it's winter right now. So let me know in the comments below if you want me to make another video like this, but with warm weather patterns. All right, so we're working my classic pattern roundup style here. I have 5 categories with 2 patterns each, making for 10 gorgeous crochet patterns. I want to say right out the gate that I picked these patterns for their gorgeousness. So you're probably going to notice that at least some of these patterns are definitely more complex. Here's the thing I want to encourage you with. You can totally learn more complex and work more complicated patterns. The amazing thing about yarn is that as you're learning and you improve, you can always frog things back and retry. So I hope you'll see these patterns for all their gorgeousness like I did, and that you'll give some of them a try. I know I definitely want to. The first category we're going to talk about is scarves. There's nothing better than wrapping up in a nice cozy handmade scarf when it's really cold outside. I think you'll agree with me that this first scarf is absolutely stunning. This is the Chasing Starfall wrap by Jessica Whitfall. You guys, this is so beautiful. I really want to make it myself. It is made in sport weight yarn, so that's a lot of stitching. But oh man, the payoff on this pattern is just stunning. I think one of the amazing things about a wrap like this is that there are endless color combinations. Who Gives a Scrap is coming up in February, so I have scrappy projects on the mind, but I can imagine this being a super gorgeous scrappy project. Pick a base color and then add in all of your leftover scraps and so stunning. As I was looking through all of the pictures and projects, I noticed this stunning thing, which obviously you see caught my eye because of all of the bold colors. I also love that this person took this and made it into a pillow. I do want to encourage you that things that are made in squares, you can change the size square it is and make it into something a little different. The next scarf pattern I'm going to share with you is one of my own scarf patterns. This is the Honora scarf. It was my Advent scarf from last year. It comes in two different sizes, a narrow version that's super long and great to just wrap up in, and then a wider version that is generous in length but not quite as crazy long. I made this scarf both with an Advent kit and with full skeins of yarn, so this is definitely a very flexible pattern. It does require fingering weight yarn, but I definitely think that you could play with this a little bit and maybe try with a different weight of yarn. My second category here, I had a really hard time picking for because there are just some really amazing options in this one. Our second category that we're going to talk about are sweaters. I wanted to be sure that I picked sweaters that were by designers that I knew really understood really great sweater construction. And so I encourage you to go and look at all of the sweater designs by these two designers because they have lots of really great ones. The first sweater I'm going to share with you is the Mosaic Jumper. This is by Sandra Gutierrez of Nomad Stitches, and it's just stunning. I have had the pleasure of interviewing Sandra on my Meet the Maker podcast, and in taking a sweater grading class from her. She knows her stuff. You are not just going to make a sweater that is squares and that you seam together. She really knows shaping to make a sweater that fits really great. And again, I got scrappiness on the brain, but wouldn't this be a great scrappy project? This uses sport weight yarn, and there are lots and lots of projects of this pattern, so this is a great opportunity for you to see what different color combinations look like. Next, I have this stunner. It is the Sensum sweater by, I'm going to try to get her name right, Linda Skuja. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Linda has tons of really stunning sweaters, but my eye has been drawn to this sweater so many times. This sweater uses Aran weight yarn, which is in between worsted weight and bulky weight. So this, I would imagine, could work up really quickly. And that gorgeous texture is just, oh, so good. There are also lots of projects of this sweater, which makes it great to go and look at how the pattern looks on different body shapes and sizes. Our third category is crochet bags, and I got some stunning ones for you. When I was searching for bags to share with you, this one caught my eye. It is just so gorgeous. This is the Hosta bag, and can't you just see it? Those big, beautiful Hosta leaves. This pattern is by Sidsel Sangild, and it uses sport weight yarn. There are also lots of gorgeous projects with this bag, and you can see lots of different colors and yarns that people have made it in. Be sure you check out the projects and find the rainbow bag. Oh my gosh, so much fun. The second bag I want to share with you is the Thea bag. You guys, I love this bag so much. There are so many color combinations, and it has a really unique construction that gives it that pointed top. I love the addition of leather handles to it, makes it super classy. And again, this would be a great scrappy project or a great project to take all of your favorite colors and add into it. Category number 4 is home decor, and I'm bringing you 2 different types of patterns that you can use in your home that are super classy. The first one is the Aran Accent Pillow. This is by Kim Miller, and it's just classic. The cables are classic. The basket weave pattern is classic. You could absolutely make this in a complementary color to your living room or your bedroom, and it would just go perfectly. I also love that the back has a button closure. That means you're going to easily be able to remove this from pillows if you need to wash, or if you just want to seasonally change things out every once in a while. I also found this stunning basket, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm thinking about making one and replacing this guy with a handmade basket because this is just stunning. The chunky chevron basket is by Sarah Korth of Ned and Mimi, and I have worked with Sarah before. She is lovely, and not just because her name is Sarah. While I haven't worked up one of her patterns before, I can say from having worked with her that she is a meticulous person, and so I can almost guarantee that this pattern is going to be perfection. Category number 5, and my very last category, is shawls. You guys, I love shawls so much. This was probably the category that was hardest for me to choose. There are lots of gorgeous shawl patterns out there. So what I did was I tried to seek out a couple different yarn weights for you because I know not everybody loves a fingering weight shawl. This beauty is the Cassia shawl, and it is by Marlene McKenney. This was designed for Expression Fiber Arts, so you might recognize the model that's not Marlene. But if you know Expression Fiber Arts, you certainly recognize Tandy, I believe is her name, as the face of Expression Fiber Arts. But as I said, the designer is Marlene McKenney. This is a beautiful open lacy pattern with such gorgeous detail. It would be great for a wedding or a party, kind of drape over your shoulders in a fancier situation. And it would work up relatively fast because it is made in a DK weight yarn. Next, I had to throw in one of my favorite shawls, and that is the Poppy shawl. This is a fingering weight yarn shawl, but I have to tell you guys, I don't want you to be scared of fingering weight. You can absolutely do it, and fingering weight gives just the most gorgeous drape. The Poppy shawl is also deceptively simple. It has a really gorgeous crescent shape, but the body of the shawl is made with very simple stitches and a repeating pattern. The only slightly more complicated section is that border around the bottom of the shawl, but that's only like 2 or 3 rows and you can totally do it. All right, that's my roundup of truly gorgeous and classic crochet patterns. I hope you found something in there that's inspired you to dive into a new project. Whip wrap up is almost done, so it's time to start adding things back to the pile. I have all the links to all of the patterns in the show notes below, so you do not need to rely on my pronunciation of these poor designers' names. Links to everything is right there. Just click the more and find the pattern you want, and it'll take you directly to where you can purchase. Just a couple really quick announcements. I've already said Whip Wrap Up is wrapping up this week. We've had such a great time together and we've wrapped up lots of projects. It's been really encouraging. What's up next month? That is Who Gives a Scrap. That is just a really fun time where we make projects that use up those little bits and bobs left over from other projects so that we can use up that gorgeous yarn and not let it go to waste. I have a new set of patterns coming out for Who Gives a Scrap, so I encourage you to join in and to join my email list so that you don't miss out on anything, including the best discount codes. Thank you so much for joining me today. I so enjoyed sharing these patterns with you. I would love it if you would like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss out every time I share a video. Also, I would love if you would comment below with some of your favorite crochet patterns so that we can go check those out too. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you back here next week, and until then, happy crafting!